At the Triple Crown Slumpbuster, we're in Council Bluffs, Iowa, at the Council Bluffs Recreation Complex, and we have the Director of Parks and Recreation here in Council Bluffs joining us, Larry Foster. Larry, thanks for carving a little time out of your day.
Gee, it's tough duty to get out of the office to come out here.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry.
That's a bad excuse with the rest of the staff.
Excuse,
They're jealous.
Lots of people think this is all I ever do anyway, so
yeah,
I'll make it true today.
Well, it's not like you're not busy right now. We're on, I guess, day 3 of gameplay of the Slumpbuster of a 16 days, 4 sessions, over 500 teams from more than 35 states. Council Bluffs has been a fantastic host for this event for double-digit years now. Right. So first of all, thank you and to all your staff and all the local folks who are involved for making this such a special destination for these young baseball teams.
Well, we're glad to do it. We look forward to it year after year. It's important to the city. It's important to us as a staff. And it's really become to be important to everybody in the city, the residents, the businesses. Everybody looks forward to this event coming to town.
With the Council Bluffs Recreation Complex here, 10 ball fields all in a line right here. It's from Triple Crown's perspective, it's a tournament operator's dream to have this sort of a layout where you can get 10 fields of action going on, kind of all in one reachable expanse of space. You've got great common space here, good support facilities. You got the turf over there. This is quite a gem for any community to have.
Well, we're very proud of it. It's been a work in progress for a few years. We're lucky not only to have a great facility, but we have terrific staff here. They do an outstanding job. It's their baby. They take care of it. And when people walk in the door here, we want them to see and feel that they're coming into something a little bit special. And you talked about the fields, the conditions, the numbers. The common space, I think, here is exceptionally large. The landscaping, the public art we have, the finishes in the dugouts. It really began and has continued to be a step above a lot of just normal complexes you see in communities.
And this is I-80 that comes right by over here, right?
Yes.
And 29 kind of comes across. So the accessibility of this park as an interstate exit, I mean, when we're here, you don't feel the interstate at all when you're standing here. You get in your car and you're on the interstate in a minute. I mean, it's a great access.
Yeah, and it works for you all, hotels, restaurants, to the zoo, to swimming pools, over, of course, the College World Series. It's all just minutes away, in some ways even faster than if you were downtown because you have the interstate.
Yeah. Yeah, you talked about this facility and sort of the infrastructure you provide for all these teams. I'll tell you my own little memory that this very complex, this will live with me forever, is our older son who just graduated high school this year. When he was about 8 years old, I think it was the first time I brought him with me for the Slumpbuster event. And we were over here. Actually, this was a couple years before. He was probably about 6. I think I brought him with me on something over here. And we were standing on your turf fields right down here. There were games going on. He wasn't old enough yet. He wasn't playing. But I went through him batting practice out on your turf fields. And it's just one of those evenings where I remember, we're from Colorado, and here we are on this field in Council Bluffs, Iowa, and he's hitting balls around. And the world couldn't have been simpler and more pleasant that evening. And I will always remember that little patch. These fields are great, and I remember a lot about these. But we were just standing there on some of your grass. And,
absolutely. Very
welcoming environment and just a place you can make some good memories.
I think there are a lot of stories that people take home from Council Bluffs in this facility, and that's one of the reasons it's special to everybody that lives and work here. We love to have it here. Matt Walsh, our mayor, would be here doing a much better job than I am, I'm sure, but he happens to be actually in Colorado.
And it's not a campaign season, so he's...
Well, it's getting close, but not that
so he
close.
Should be here.
He should be. I'm sure he'll be here this weekend before it's over.
Yeah. So we were talking, you worked in Omaha for part of your time. You've been 8 years directing the Council Bluffs Parks and Recreation Department. So you're a true, Omaha Metro guy. I mean, you have the big perspective. You're not just in your Council Bluffs corner. And this College World Series phenomenon, what a unique... I mean, for any metropolitan community in the country, nobody else has anything quite like what this is.
Well, it's special to Omaha. It's special to the Metro, to everybody. When I was in Omaha, back when Rosenblatt was the seat of the College World Series, that was one of my responsibilities. And I actually did spend that whole time and the week before and the week after running all the front of house and back of house, the fields, everything. So that was kind of the big dance. But we were very much aware even at the College World Series level, of the importance of Slumpbuster and how many people this event brought to the metro area. Matter of fact, there's probably not a full appreciation of how many people, if you see the people running around that are going to hotels during the College World Series, the majority of them are probably participating in this event, not necessarily the College World Series event, because a lot of those people are driving distance. So it was always fun working at Rosenblatt back in the days, and we lined people up, endless lines snaking around the hillside.
Oh, I was in that line.
You were in that line in all the
that was
uniforms. You know, the kids coming in to see the games that were playing for Slumpbuster. That was it was an honor and an interesting couple weeks being over there, and here too.
It was a fairly divisive time in the transition from Rosenblatt. For some people, it was divisive in the transition from Rosenblatt to TD Ameritrade. What was your perspective being inside of it like you were? What was your perspective when all that started to happen?
Well, I loved Rosenblatt, and we had started an effort to upgrade it in some ways, and made recommendations to the NCAA to get it to where they wanted it to get it to where the clubhouses were nicer, the concourses were bigger, the cost just kept climbing and climbing, and it came to the point to, can you afford to bring Rosenblatt up to standards that they like to have, or would it be better to build something from the ground up that is exactly what it takes to do the College World Series really well. And I think that was the right decision. Yes, there were people that didn't want to see it go away and still miss the ambiance of 13th Street, 10th Street, and the cars and Dingerville and all those things. But pretty much, as an Omaha, the folks in Omaha, I think, thought it was a good move. The stadium is fantastic. It has all the amenities people want now for baseball. So it's turned out to be a good thing for everybody.
Yeah, I've grown to love it. I was at TD Ameritrade for the first pitch, the first game in the new stadium for the College World Series, and I was at Rosenblatt. My first time there was 1987, and so I live in Colorado, but I have my own. And you think about how many people have their own memories of both parks and comparisons. And now it's become more of a fond memory. But I was. I wasn't thrilled initially just because it meant so much to me for some experiences I had there. I think everybody did a great job on it. I know it caused probably some people to get sideways with each other a little bit, but it's really played out well, and Ameritrade is a fantastic venue. Yeah. For you in the Council Bluffs Parks and Recreation Department, do you have, I don't know if you have a scope with the Slumpbuster, either total worker hours or any interesting perspective from the role you're in about the duties, the weight, the intensity of hosting this?
Well, we try not to put pen to pencil too often, because maybe then we would want to do it so much.
Better not to know something.
Better not to know. No, it's we look forward to it every year. It does extend us. It takes a lot of time to get it ready, to be here, take care of it during the tournament. Our guys will be in here till 2 o'clock in the morning getting things ready for tomorrow. But that's really what our job is. We budget for those kinds of things. We understand the cost, but the advantages far outweigh the disadvantages of getting it ready. And again, it goes back to the pride of the community, the pride of the people that work here, and the residents and the business people around. We see it as being special, and we do what we have to do to continue to make it special for yourself and everybody to come and be here.
And your answer did get to why I was even inspired to ask that question with we're talking about 2 a.m. with your staff being out here.
Yep.
Because that's what I noticed and when I was in college, I worked for the Parks Department in the summers where I was, so I have an appreciation. I've always had appreciation for the folks who do this work. And that's probably what I was thinking was close to around-the-clock operation for you guys during this Slumpbuster 16. And it's more than 16 days for you because you've got build-up and backside.
And it happens to follow. We do a major concert event called Lust Fest, which is a 3 or 4 day solid activities on the riverfront, and it's just a couple weeks before this. So we didn't time that very well. We should have put that in the fall, I think. So we're extended in the month of late May and June. It extends us a lot. Troy and Zach and Bill and everybody that works out here, they point to this year in and year out as a time when they're super proud of what they do, and they do it better than I think anybody I've been around.
So when you made your move from Omaha to take this position in the director role, what was it that attracted you to the Council Bluffs opportunity?
Well, this complex, we have a lot of fields, a lot of complexes in Omaha, and they're really nice. I think this one's kind of unique. So many fields, soccer, football, baseball, softball, all in the same area as you mentioned. The linear makeup of it makes it kind of work. And then it's a community that's got nice parks. They were active in doing some stuff on the riverfront, which is something that I was able to do some on the Omaha side. So it was just a good fit for me at a time when I was ready to have another challenge, and it just worked out.
Well, the Slumpbuster has grown immensely from its origins, 20-some, 30-some teams, and now we're talking over 500 teams that come from over 35 states. But you don't do that kind of growth as Triple Crown as an organization can't have that kind of growth without a great partner. And there are a number of great partners in the metro area, Council Bluffs being right in sort of the middle of all of that. And I know Triple Crown appreciates greatly what all of you have done here in Council Bluffs to make this such a great event.
Well, as a director, I'd like to say that it's all because of me. It really has very little, if anything, to do with me. The Triple Crown staff are terrific. They understand exactly what they have to do to have a quality event. They have very close relationships with my people out here and Jeff with the Recreation Division. And it helps that we've been doing it a while now, so that it makes it a little easier. But there's a reason it's so successful, and it's Triple Crown, it's Council Bluffs, it's the facilities, it's the way the community puts their arms around this event. All those things have to come together to make it special the way it is.
I know all the staff at Triple Crown tries to take their time and make a point to thank your people, but I guess, again, just to make sure we're doing it, and you've done it a little bit here right now, and I also would just encourage you to please make sure you take back to anybody you're talking to on your side with your Council Bluffs Parks and Rec staff. Let them know that we really do appreciate what they're doing.
And it probably did short sheet a little bit our elected officials, particularly our mayor and of course our city council, because there's never any discussions about should we not support this the way we do. It's quite the opposite. It's coming. They look forward to it. There's never an interest in doing anything cheaper, getting by with less. We want to do it right. We want everybody to come back. We recognize what it means to our community, and so politically, it's nice to be here where they understand what something like this means.
You make a great point, because from community to community, it's not always that way.
That's right.
Yeah. And it is important when you got everybody on the same page, from the elected official side to the staff side, all the way from the upper part of the hierarchy to the last summer seasonal who comes in. I mean, if everybody's playing that same note, it really, and you can feel that here. That's why I think it does work the way it does. With Council Bluffs Parks and Recreation, the director position is held by Larry Foster, who's doing great work, and also acknowledging that's just a cascade of all kinds of people doing it. Larry, thank you so much.
I'm just a guy that gets to come and talk on TV once in a while.
Thanks for your time today, and we appreciate all the hard work.
Glad to do it.